welcome everybody to the Breachers of VRML Season 1, Week 6. My name is Nightfire with two E's. I am joined by my co-caster, Heritage. Heritage, how are you doing today?
I I feel great. I'm back on the casting desk after what I think I've been out for a week. haven't been able to get my vocal cords ready to cast. So this is my first cast back after a week. So, and besides the new talent that came in, it just feels good to be back.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and we have a good matchup, Eternity versus Formula 3, and I think if we cut to that match page, these teams only have, in terms of separation, these teams only have one team around it, and I believe that's Acer or.
Yep. It is, yeah. Both teams have had their one loss so far this season to the likes of Acer. And it really is a rivalry triangle at this point, up in the top three at the very least. Heritage, I mean, I think we talked about it. Maybe even in the top 8, you could consider it sort of a big, real kind of mash of who's going to be at the top of the ladder at the end of the season. But this matchup, I'm very much excited for. Both teams, again, ranked first and third worldwide, currently or not worldwide, in the NA region, and really ultimately going to bring some very quality gameplay this afternoon. I think for Eternity, we can definitely expect some good teamwork, some good coordination. I really anticipate them to be bringing a pretty strong foot forward after a very hard loss to Acer. I don't know if you got to go watch that match back, but that was a down to the map 3 best of 3 finals just last week. And so it was a fantastic fight, but they lost to Acer there, their first loss. And so I don't think they want to make their second one in a row here, Heritage.
Yeah, against a team like Acer, or the North American preseason champions.
Yeah,
they don't want to. I think their main focus is just focus on just getting a win, place well in these ladders, and then even though we're like multiple months away, just get ready for playoffs and get that better seed. Try not to lose to a bunch of newcomer teams or teams that should have been really easy choose, because right now in competitive breaches, Eternity are known as this big team that could actually, they pulled, we have players like Proxy, Juice, Pennypacker, these big names, and that have made a statement. And a team like F3, although they are a little bit newer, a lot more of these younger players, they can still have this fighting power, and they're also on that same stat as Eternity, also losing to Acer. So not only is there a little bit of a quote-unquote rivalry, they don't want their second loss to go against, just, I can't imagine their DMs going like, I can't imagine you lost to Acer and, said team. Because that would be a little bit humiliating.
There's really like a rivalry going on, at least between Eternity and Acer at this point, too. They've been facing off in other leagues, really going head-to-head, winning, losing to each other respectively. And, I'm very much looking forward to the Eternity-Acer rematch. I expect it. I mean, it very likely could happen again this season, depending on, how the ladder works out and how these teams win or lose as we continue to sort of roll through what is going to be, I think, a 13-week regular season. So we're not even halfway there yet, Heritage. We're only in week 6 right now. We still got plenty of breachers left ahead of us. Unlike the preseason, right now we'd be looking at the end of the preseason. This would be like, okay, last chance to really get some wins in, but it really is almost just the beginning. And we do finally have 5 on both sides, so we should be jumping in to round 1 shortly. But what do you think of these rosters? We do see some new additions to that F3 team.
Yeah, and then I think one of the, I would say, like, more important players is, Flakes. They just joined F3 like today. They didn't have, I'm pretty sure they did internals with scrims and tryouts. But right now, even though they did have experience in playing competitively, I believe with Bandit in preseason, and now they're about to play on Tier 1 as we do hop into Hideout with F3. They're going to be starting as Revolters.
Yeah, this should be a interesting opening here. F3 going to get that opportunity to really kind of kick things off strong on the defensive side, but it is Hideout, and I don't know, Eternity are a team that's going to bring a very coordinated effort to the likes of this F3 team, and maybe, new addition or not, that teamwork will be tested, and maybe Eternity can find the advantage there. In that this team, definitely a squad that's been playing together quite a bit. You look at Mindbaker, Juice, Proxy, Pennypacker, and the Ace here on the active roster this afternoon. And over on F3, we have Angel, Bot, Katara, Flix, and Zweez. And not to discredit that F3 are also basically, that's basically a core roster there too. Angel, Bot, Zweez, they've all been playing together pretty consistently. Katara has been on the F3 team, I think, for the majority of this season. And if anything, a bandit player, someone for coming in from that bandit squad heritage, that's a good addition to be adding into the roster. That's a strong player that they're maybe filling that F3 net with, so to speak, to make them a full.
Oh, we got a disconnect.
Oh, yes, we do.
Unfortunate, but yeah, but we're gonna see Eternity starting off a little bit towards that garage wall, and I'd say for this type of site, it's pretty common to play it, as now they're gonna be popping these smokes. They're gonna double it up here, as the nade's actually gonna get one. That's gonna take down Bot, and they might start this plan, but Katara is actually gonna be pushing on through. Zeus decided to smoke, but Mindbaker's gonna find it. They were just standing there. As now it's gonna be forced to a post plan. Proxy finds another one, down to a 2v3, but Angel's gonna find one. As now they're gonna be wrapped around towards storage, as they're gonna have to make it. But in this site like garage, it's so hard to try and take it back with Revolter, especially where that EMP is planted. It's on the outside, and you have to just make a really big guess. As Angel tries to peek and gets punished, it's all down to Flix.
The retake meta has been something that's really sort of started to appear more and more this season, but maybe teams now getting better at defending the retake, as we are seeing here, Flix in a tough spot. They're not sure where this defense is tucked in. There's all kinds of standard corners, and they are checking the standard ones. They're not going to have enough time at this point, though, to defuse this EMP, get rid of 3 on-objective defenders, but maybe they can get some extra cash. That's 1 kill, and I guess that extra cash goes into Mindbaker's hands. A plant, a full team wipe, and a beautiful start for Eternity. That's a lot of early cash into their pockets there, Tosh.
Had 3,000 in the bank for at least 2 players. Oh yeah, they have a bot, by the way, and I'm pretty sure that Eternity are trying to get at least someone in.
Yeah, but the Ace is.
It's a great start. Yeah, they're missing Ace. But they're off to a good start. They have 3 players, so they're definitely going to try and go anti-eco. They're going to buy 2 Vezins. And we do get second floor, which is arguably a lot more easier to take if you're playing as Enforcer. Compared to Revolters, if they could just, for F3, as long as they decide to just anchor A, because the thing with Eternity on this site in particular is that they will usually have one player. As I'm looking at the current economy now, and it seems like that it might not happen. But what will usually happen is Eternity would buy Marui, and the reason why they would try and wallbang from the top of the roof, try and take someone out inside of a site. And we've seen it back during streams or where Eternity played live on broadcast. It has happened before, and maybe they want to try something new.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like how the most efficient way of using money. A bot kill comes in from Nicholas onto Bot, no less, and Flix will find the quick refrag. It's an RCP, if anything, into Flix's hands, and so it's not really an ideal trade. If anything, I do think it benefits F3 a little bit more. Flix is low on HP, though, and that's going to be a Vezin versus an RCP that wins out in the fight. Now over top, they have Proxy holding things down, Mindbaker barreling into A site, and nice nade from Katara to stifle the push. Proxy is going to refrag, and now the pinch on the retake.
Yeah, but it's all down to Angel now. He tried to make that flank, but with only a Spectral and the rest of Eternity, they have 2 Vezins. They're going to try and hard anchor this as Angel pushes up, but doesn't spot Juice with that cloak. For 2-0 for Eternity.
That cloak is a...
it's devastating.
Yeah,
it's good. If you stay still, I'd argue it's kind of broken.
They're still down a player. Eternity's won 2 offensive rounds here on Hideout. Who knows what they really would be looking like if they had the ace also assisting them and not necessarily throwing RCPs or now in this case a Marui out to their opponent. This is definitely not what they want to have happen. That's a lot of cash investment that could be dumped into your opponent's hands. But I suppose F3 also going in pretty heavy on their side, and so they don't necessarily need
I
that
will
drive.
I will argue F3's kind of in a big risk because I think they might be on that loss bonus next round, but I don't think they could try and opt to lose a player even if they try to win round. If they have just, if it's a 1vx and they win that round, I'd argue that the economy will not be stable. They won't be able to build for, the next 3 rounds. And in a game like Ragers where that economy can screw you over, you just make one mistake. It's matter, but hey, they don't get the that was a good roll.
Honestly, was a really nice play. They breached in, the bot throws the nade off the wall. It bounces around the corner and catches a kill. Yeah, that hurts. That stings. And F3 really getting hit hard there. Eternity continuing to get, I would say, pretty dang lucky with their bot plays. And ultimately now they're into a 4v4.
Yeah, and there's honestly, I don't think any type of movement. No one's budging after that one single gunfight. But there is a little bit of drone coming in from Pennypacker trying to clear out wine. As I think they might want to try and execute an A push. The drone is still clearing out. I'm not sure who spot Zoo is though.
Well, definitely sees Flicks.
So there's going to be a little bit of engagement coming in. Nade tossed. But overall, I think F3 are buying a lot of time.
Yeah, they're really waiting. Bot is going to find one over on that B site and some pre-fire coming in through the walls over towards A as they do try and split this offense. And this is not the pinch in on this objective is not going well. They're going one at a time into the defensive side right now. And F3 may be able to get a defensive round here.
Yeah, and it's 1v4. Mindbreaker does find one. But with the EMP down in 120, there's a lot of time pressure. And Mindbreaker trying to offer both walls. I'm not sure if he realizes that A's clear. He just has to focus on Boiler. As we have Bot and Angel hanging around that. But the EMP is actually towards storage. And that needs to be recovered. But it's a little bit easier unless Angel gets the kill. As F3 get their round win.
A vital round that they needed in their pocket for sure, and maybe that bot impacting the Eternity cohesion a little bit more now. Not having your 5th really hurts, and you got to wonder where is the ace, or in this case, where is... Have they gotten their... No, they still have bot. I get confused now when I see bot Nicholas because there's F3 bot, and so it's like in my mind, it's confusing. It's like, oh, is bot Nicholas a play? No, that's the bot. That's not that's not F3. That's not bot. That's a bot. Oh god.
Yeah, you just see the highlighted clan tag and like, yeah, that's the player.
Which witch is a witch? Is the real sort of situation we're into here. But
I will say Eternity aren't doing too, they're actually doing great. Is besides that single player deficit, 4v5 and they're up around. Could they do it 3v5? Probably not, but I would say close enough to probably make it to like round 12.
Ooh, they have proof logged in. No longer a bot. They've got all 5. And now things might get a little bit more serious for Eternity.
And they're trying to drone in. I think they would want to clear it out. They're trying to clear out balcony first, which is a lot more common for more teams. I think Eternity, I think they're going to try and do one heavy push. And then we can see up front the roof, besides all this gunfight inside of balcony, they're trying to clear out that roams. As Proxy barely lives as Zeus tries to swing, but unable to find one. That door blocker getting shot down by Proxy, but the drone's going to come in as well. Zeus and Proxy are in their own fight as well, but Proxy's going to die, and that's EMP down. 5v4, and it's in favor of F3.
Still got Juice on the short corner. Squeeze flies out, and Mindbanker gets the nade down in time to get the door blocker and the kill on the doorway. It's a 2v4 as more pre-fire and blind fire goes through that wall on towards the moving in offense. A flash there, I think, goes into the smoke. That won't blind anybody. And Pennypacker is going to be able to get a rifle in hand. There's so many tucked into sight, though. They got Angel, and then on the backside, Bot and Flicks flanking out, and it is Pennypacker completely being pinched in by a much more confident F3 defense here as we get into the later rounds. We're tied up 2-2 off of a very solid defensive hold.
Yeah, and Eternity had full control of balcony, and then I believe that collateral all the way from. I think plus Zeus had a 3K as well, getting that first pick off of proxy, and then getting that collateral, and I think that's just sealed it. You know, it went from 4-4 all the way down to 4-2, and I'd say that was the nail in the coffin to shut down that round for Eternity. As now they're going to be forced on another eco. I think, and a little bit of an anti as Juice might start to play a little bit aggressive because of that Omen buy. It's not common for a lot of teams to try and go for Omen because or it just sells or go for Kadia. I don't know which one. We're playing guessing games. You know, place your bets. What gun is Juice going to buy? But it's a lot more. It's not common to see a lot of these teams go for something like SMGs or those, those really cheap assault rifles because their firepower compared to what else can a Vezin Marie do? They can one tap and they have high fire rate, but I think because of their low economy, they're gonna have to try and make some progress, try to get a single frag off of them compared to F3 where they have a really big economy now because they've won 2 rounds in a row.
Into the action we go, and yeah, this Omen gonna be an interesting bit of utility. How effective can it really be? Can it be enough to get them started? Zrees here, Flicks here, Proxy trapped with a drone doing a bit of work, and ultimately they drop back, interestingly enough. A nade almost kills Proof, but they tuck in time, and they have a bit of control outside of that door blocker. A very dangerous piece to have, as anyone could spring out and fire onto Proof or Proxy here in this lobby area. But for now, Eternity focusing on A heavily and ultimately losing one. Flicks finds a headshot through the hallway.
And Eternity are trying to set up for this A execute, but F3 knows this. They have 2 stacked in pantry, and Zeus is trying to hold on to site. Now it's just a bunch of pre-fire, but both walls are gonna fall down. Proxy is able to find one with that Taurus. The smoke's gonna pop up. Molly as well.
That's good.
As they're gonna be starting to plant. Nate toss, but that's gonna end up a little bit short. But Flicks is on that flank, trying to run through piano. Katara and Angel find a pick of their own. It's all down to Juice into a 1v4, but with an Omen, can't do much as all they gotta do is stick that defuse. And now it's gonna be 3-2 for F3.
I have a feeling that the whole intention of that Omen, and honestly the whole play here, was maybe to go for that plant. I wonder if economically wise, getting that plant, that extra bit of cash into their pocket, even off of a loss, because it would be a consecutive loss, would be enough cash to get them to really be able to invest here. Because now look at this. They've got plenty of money to go full utility, full buy, full rifles into their last round to try and tie it up 3-3. So an interesting bit of economy management. I don't know they even really needed the plant, considering how much money they did have. There's like 4,000 in their pockets after that round loss, but still, it's they're using almost every.
I'd argue for the loss bonus, yeah. And now they're just gonna buy a lot more utility, as it's gonna be the basement ground again, where it's been back and forth on this site with Eternity winning that pistol round on the first. But the moment we came back, it was F3, and they had 3 players alive after they got that last pick. So it's gonna be a little bit of a coin toss. There's been no clear winner of of side control.
I also wonder, are we gonna get a we haven't really seen a heavy B site push from Eternity yet. They've, if anything, really kind of been focusing and splitting their attention.
We have been.
Not
if you consider pistol round.
Yeah.
Because all they did was double up on smokes and nades. As I think they're going to play a little bit more
That's true. That's very true. You're right. They did get that plant in the pistol round.
Yeah, they're playing a lot more conservative. They're trying to clear out that top, so maybe they do want to try and attempt B. So I think they want to clear out any type of roams for Eternity. As the drone falls, as now they're going to try and regroup and think of some type of strat as Mindbreaker sets up that breaching phone for B site. And I feel like it's a little bit interesting because what I think Eternity are doing is they don't. Oh, now as I say that, I was about to say that they don't have anyone on that garage wall, but. Common leaders first, of course they're going to be there, but they're going to run to Angel, who's on that top floor, so that might be the first gunfight after everything that's happened. That's what's going to happen. Angel gets a little bit of firefight, but Proof shoots through that wall. That's the roam gone. They don't have to worry about anything else. They toss down that hatch. They have to make some progress. Drone comes in. Zeus tries to go through the door blocker, but immediately runs into Mindbaker, who's in storage already. Bot is spotted between parkour and immediately falls. All down to in the 2v5, all down to Katara and Flix.
Flix is out here dangerously close to swinging out and finding Mindbaker. Katara just on the other side also. They are going to peek out, and Mindbaker finds the first kill. Katara has to pick up 5 on F3's side as Eternity have a very solid full court B press. There's the whole team there breaching in. Every hatch opened up. No chance for the defense to hold effectively on that B site with all the utility coming in because they had invested in saving. It's a long play that gets them here. It's a multi-round play that enables them to have 5 alive right now with a plant in this round 6, but it is a very clean play coming in from Eternity as they do sort of maybe even regather a little bit of momentum in this last round. To not allow a single kill in the final round, I mean, that's morally mentally damaging Heritage to have to suffer a loss like that.
They don't drop a single player, and we're back right where we started. The only difference is that both of these teams only need 4 rounds to win, or we just tie map 1. Because, we're tied 3-3, and the stakes are a lot more higher now. No, you can't let any more mistakes happen.
That was a exciting battle to open things up between the number 1 ranked team and the number 3 ranked team worldwide. Both of these teams, again, only suffering 1 loss so far in this regular season. 4-1 apiece, and they've only lost to Acer. Acer really that top dog, the team that is to beat at this point. But if anything, Formula 3 are coming off of strong wins. They've won against Infinity, which is a very strong team, and Eternity stepping up to the plate here after a bit of a rocky 3-1 sort of situation they found themselves in, but they've gotten control of it. And we'll now see how they do on their pistol round as we swap sides, reset economies, and of course F3 go on to the attack.
And they're starting off towards bedroom. Maybe they just want to get some basic info after all. Proxy finds Zeus trying to play off the window, and out of all places, I wouldn't expect a frag to be there.
It's a little out of place, honestly. Just a little bit aggressive. I suppose they're trying to sort of clear the outer doorway where Bot is now so that they can get inside this room and really have full control. But you can cover that doorway from the hatch. So all you got to really do is open the hatch up, and you've got good coverage down to prevent someone like Proxy from flanking in and being disruptive to your push, which is now set up for a B site. Walls are open, but the static emitter is sort of the first initial deterrent for this team before they can push in.
And the proximity static field gets popped off, but the nade's gonna buy more time, as that's gonna force Katara off of the usual position. But for that, they could try and do an execute, but there's not a lot of utility on this side of Formula 3. They have 1 smoke, so they can try and attempt to cover 1 area. They're gonna try to go for smoke, but the smoke's gonna miss. That's a little bit unfortunate, as Angel's down on HP, but Juice from the bottom of that table
almost helps him. The smoke almost helps Juice there. Look at the little angle it opens up for them. Just a slice of an ankle that they find. They got the cover of the smoke from their headshot, and so yeah, they get that kill. And every mistake getting punished here is Bot's going to open up and find that Proxy headshot. Proxy's not going to be able to flank. A nice quick refrag from Mindbaker keeps it a 2v4 with B site being the focus point for this F3 offense.
And I'm surprised that there's no pressure coming in from balcony, but I think Mindbreaker's starting to make some progress. As you know, they have, as Eternity have so much map control. All they gotta do is just force it onto them. They know they have map control, and right now both F3 members are inside a bedroom. As Bot is dinked down to 23 HP. Mindbreaker's low as well, all on one as well, as the wall banks are trying to be exchanged. Flix is gonna try to make some progress, but Mindbreaker's gonna be pushing. He's getting aggressive.
Oh!
Pushes up, but Flix gets 2. But with 1 HP, can he do it? Just pray that Eternity are Starboard Troopers and absolutely whiff all their shots, as he's gonna be slow walking all the way towards site, gonna be pushing up towards server. Starts to plan. Actually, no, Fakes are trying to bait out a couple. 10 seconds, he's gonna have to play for picks.
Oh, they tried too late. It's either stick it or find the kill early, and they don't find the kill off of the bait. It is a close round there, but Eternity clutch up their defensive pistol set, Heritage, and we are, I mean, just into a good quality series. We saw at a Martini just earlier today a great back and forth from 2 new teams, and I really think we're seeing at this stage of the game in week 6 of the season. You know, we're really seeing the system work quite well, if I do say so myself. You know, the VRML matchmaking is delivering on some good matches in week 6. We had fantastic ones last week. I mean, if this is any indicator, Heritage, what are we going to get out of week 10, 11, 12? You know, when we get closer to that postseason, when there is down to the bottom line.
We get like perfect 18-18. I'd make a good guess.
Okay, I like to see it. I've only had one. If there's going to be more, I'll definitely take it at the end of a season. But yeah, it's really, these teams are honing themselves into a knife edge for sure over the course of this season, and it's really fun to see such good quality gameplay, at least so far. Curious to see what F3 are going to deploy on the offense as we do now get into round number 8 of map 1. If you're just tuning in, you haven't missed too much. It is still map 1, and it's a best of 3.
And we're starting off towards the garage side. Clear it out, but Satfield's going to buy a little bit of time. You know, that's going to stall F3 for a little bit. Mindbreaker's going to be pushing up. But the proximity is going to be that Q to throw the grenade. Doesn't end up taking any of F3's damage as Proxy pushes up. But with the Omen, Proxy gonna find one, swing it again, but that's gonna punish Katara and Bot, find a pick up the round 3v4. But F3's team, half of them are on low HP.
Oh!
As Mindbreaker pushes out, but immediately gets punished for it, as it's 2v4, but Juice has a Vezin. That could be the deciding factor. That could be the make or break for Eternity. As F3, if they want to try and counter that, all they have to do is apply pressure onto B site, because Juice has nowhere to go.
It really is just a couple of body shots for Juice, too, to catch 3. They could get one clip they could catch 3 of the F3 team if they find the right shots, and there's one. Bot's up next on the corner, but Bot finds a vital kill, and now it's up to Proof alone. They can't find the headshot. They actually do catch the first one. They can't catch the second on the Flix. They need the third on the Zweez, and it's going to be a big F3 round. They're going to get a bomb plant. That's big cash into their pockets. A full team wipe onto Eternity's side. We go into round 9. The economy's almost relatively even.
Yeah, and Flix staying alive, retrieving that EMP. That's going to be F3's Lord and Savior. Just in case they lose that one round, they still have a backup Vezin just in case. It's going to be, I would say the first rifle round after in the second half. So it's going to be a little bit interesting because I'd argue, because it's 4-4, this round is the make or break. See who actually tries and take it. And yeah, F3 and Eternity. I'm happy I'm able to cast this.
Yeah, welcome back, Heritage. Welcome back. You have chosen a good one to come back to after a little bit of a break, and ultimately a fantastic series. A shout out to everyone tuning in, as we do have a bunch of folks stopping by this afternoon. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. If you aren't new, or if you are new, hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the content here. That helps support the stream, gets more people aware of the stream. They check out the content. We're doing shorts. We got videos, highlight reels, everything getting pumped out onto the YouTube channel. So there's tons of stuff to check out and enjoy. And we really do appreciate anybody that does take the time to support the channel. We also do have the option for, I think, mega chats.
We got super chats. We got super chats. Now, so if you want to give your very precious dollars that the government gave you to VR Master League, that would be good. That would be good for us, as Proxy's gonna find one, but immediately gets traded out by Angel. As they're gonna be trying to push their way on balcony, but the pre-fire coming in from Mindbaker, as all of Eternity are gonna be a little bit more aware of the type of pressure that F3 is forcing on them.
Really aggressive push from Proxy to swing out and challenge the entirety of this lobby. That's a big risky play in a full rifle round, wouldn't you say? Ooh, that's a good nade on the back of Proof.
I'd make the call. That's a nade, but it ends up a little bit short.
Oh!
As Pennypacker's able to find one, actually all the way from that bottom floor, but Angel with the wallbang, able to guess what path Pennypacker was gonna take. They're able to repeat that EMP as we're on a full-on even 3v3, but that's the cue to try and make this type of push. No nades to respond back, so they're gonna have to fight this via post plant. Or Angel backs up. I don't know why it wasn't stuck. Maybe a little bit of a wrong call, but nade toss, that's unfortunately going to end up a little bit short.
Bot's going to catch.
Be able to find Proof.
Proof had the Taurus, though. It's not a rifle, and it's not as dangerous as Mindbaker. On site with the Vezin. They find a beautiful 1-2 tap onto Zwiz. The Vezin still a powerful tool in the close quarters, the mid-range, and Bot will find the first of 2 kills they need. Maybe we'll be able to actually stick the EMP plant, but Juice is here, and they still haven't gotten enough ticks on it to completely plant the EMP, and Bot's not comfortable sticking it just yet as Juice tucks into sight, and Bot will find the edge of their elbow, lock in the round, and get the plant. A big F3 round right here, and like you said, that could be the make or break. Their economy is going to be in good shape. Eternity going to have to eco here. The best they can do is tie map 1 at that stage, and so this round they can't afford to lose, but if they fully invest, then yeah, this is basically Eternity looking at having to try and tie this first map.
Yeah, and I would argue that if you are an Eternity fan, I know there's a couple in chat.
Oh yeah.
The Taurus, that single-handedly decides eco rounds. As we've seen it, you know, I'd argue that every single player on Eternity, if they have a Taurus in their hand, it is basically over. If they just get one single tap, that could just change everything.
Yep.
But it is just, they have to think this through, but they're going to have Proof with that single Taurus, as everyone else is going to be on RCPs. So I'm pretty sure Eternity are aware of their loss bonus if they do take this round loss, as they're going to have to decide it back in round 11. Nade is going to be tossed a bit early, trying to clear out that garage area if they try to go for the breaching foam. Drone pushed inside of storage, as I would say it's a lot more, Eternity are playing a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, if anything, the F3 team really put a pause in their step on pushing into this side with that initial nade push. They're watching that window. Bought a couple of seconds, but maybe not enough to really be a major deterrent, as Bot will push in to the inside here on the back end. They have Katara and Flix, but Katara will go down. Mindbaker will pop back out of that window. And they're just kind of poking and prodding at an F3 team that's kind of stuck here. Proxy picks up a double with an RCP as they fly out of the corner. There's a triple from Proof. It is F3 absolutely tossing their lead in Eternity, saying, we want this map. There's no tie in store for us.
And F3, they gotta make a pit stop right now, because they have no type of pressure to work with. I think the best option for Angel is just go for this save. And it just went from an absolutely winnable round to just, it collapsed within a single second just off that collateral from Proxy.
The RCPs, I mean, they came in big on the close quarter.
They're scary. Yeah, close quarters. Yeah, RCPs are way better compared to Vezins. Angel trying to trade a couple shots, maybe find a single pick. Not sure he realizes that Juice was actually behind those boxes, as we're tied 5-5.
A complete swap in economy and momentum. Eternity fully equipped, won't have to invest a single dollar in rifle buys here because they picked up 4 or 5 Vezins off of that round. And now they get full utility on rounds 11, and they get the comfort of knowing that they can full buy into round 12 if they lose here. So they've got a real nice cushion to work with. And you want to talk about getting aggressive. This F3 team's got to be careful. They can't afford another early sort of pick that they've been allowing, you know, whether it's over in the lobby or outside the window. You know, these early picks from Eternity are just keeping them in these fights. And now F3, well, we'll see. It seems like they're setting up for a heavy lobby push. This time everyone's set up over towards that A site with a couple ready to burst down through the hatch.
Hopefully one day I'll see a 5-stack hatch straight into sight, but maybe once we're later in the week we see some silly shenanigans. But yeah, F3 are gonna play way more conservative. They have 4 stacked on the roof. Yeah, it would make a little bit more sense because they have 2 Vezins. They don't want to risk their economy being worse for round 12. Gonna be starting to set up that drone. That actually does a spot proximity sensor, but it does give F3 that clearance to try and make this attempt onto balcony. Because it does also clear out bedroom, but its drone is taken out. It's definitely making progress now.
Super tucked in Eternity defense. There's no one on the hunt or looking for early picks. And as I say that, Mindbaker does take a little peek outside of that door blocker and is now pumping a decent amount of shots through the wall. Proof almost catches a nice shot there.
Mindbaker's playing with his life right now.
Yeah, they really are. They're being super aggressive. And now that wall's down, they're not going to have the option to peek, and they do drop back just in time for Angel to almost push up. A nade comes in, and it's an immolation one to deter and stall the push with a smoke. I don't know if that's the right choice, because I feel like that, if anything, helps them plant on that corner.
I'd argue...
Oh, they can't get the static emitter.
Yeah, there's a static field, so they can't make any progress. So I would argue it would work because they would have no knowledge on where anyone on Eternity are, as they're going to be changing their plans, and F3 are going to actually attempt a B push as they're making a lot more noise there. But that gives them the opportunity for Eternity to flank if they realize it.
Eternity have defense ready and waiting here. Juice tosses nades down to the hole, but doesn't catch anyone, doesn't go far enough. Angel over the top, and Flicks will catch a quick kill. Angel finds another long range one, and a great eco start for F3. They may be able to pick up the rifle off the ground. No, in their greed, they do go down. Mindbaker and Proxy are aware of the value of these rifles. The audio transmitter gives some information away, but Bot catches Proof. Mindbaker finds Flicks on the other side, and a big triple kill. They shut down F3 entirely. There's the final shot from Pennypacker, and Eternity maintain control, but barely, and go up into the lead 6-5.
That was a car crash if I've seen one from F3. They've had, I'd argue, they faked it on A side, on what's it, B side, I believe. Yep. And then they had everything on it. They were able to get control of the site, and I think that first pick onto Angel was the deciding factor. I think greed does everything in Breachers. you see, fancy gun, 2,900. I'll grab that, and there's someone else waiting there for you to pick it up. It does it to you, and I that 3-piece off the Mindbaker as well. And I'm not sure if you caught it, but Katara was out of shots on the Spectral, so it was a little bit of a awkward.
I missed it.
A little bit of an awkward engagement.
I missed it. I don't know if we've got your recording here, Taz. Maybe we can cut it in post. But yeah, a crazy comeback for Eternity right now. These last 2 rounds there, Tosh, have been massive. And F3 almost got back into it off of their eco round. So who's to say now, as they go into the full buy with a couple more Vezins? Well, actually, what do they got? 2 Vezins, a Cadillo, and 2 an RCP. So not even necessarily a ideal buy coming in here. But hey, RCP on this objective certainly done good for Eternity. So who's to say it can't do good for F3?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is why we learn how to use grenades, people. Please tell me. I really hope you didn't catch that on stream.
I got it from the perspective of Flicks. But no, we didn't see the fumble coming in there from Proxy on that nade. And, oof, that one is definitely not how Eternity want to open this thing up. I think the idea was to roll that out from under the doorway, and that did not roll out from under the doorway.
Yeah, all right. And for those that don't know how grenades and breeders works, standing and moving while throwing grenades are two different things. So, fair reminder. But in terms, they're going to be able to make some type of progress for the side of F3. Smoke's going to be popped. Brook tries to find one, but F3 gets control of storage. Vezin retrieved. And they're going to be staying up for the breachy foam. Actually not, but they have, but Penny Packer is trying to find one, but the wall bang with that could deal, but Juice whiff from the door blocker. That does too much. Actually, it's two. Juice gets the third, and it's down to a 2v2. They still have to fight Juice. He just bought so much time, and that could decide if they keep going. Mindbaker finds another. It's all down to Zeus into a 1v2, taking out that door blocker. Ooh, lefty, by the way. There's so much pressure. He has to focus on Garage. Does spot Mindbaker. But I'm not sure if he realizes that there's another player there.
House syringe toss. Mindbaker runs away from it initially. Hopefully we'll be able to get back and pick it up as Squeeze does rotate around. Looks for the wall bang. A dangerous choice considering two rifles through that wall could do some big damage. And it is a all-out battle. 50 seconds and Squeeze trying to clutch this thing up for their team. Trying to tie up Map 1 in a 1v2. No easy task when you're going up against Mindbaker and Juice. And what a big play there again from Juice to come flying out of that door blocker. They had it smoked initially, but when that smoke dissipated, they kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of collateral, and Juice with that three-piece. It's actually able to get the post plant, and there's no team there going to stop it, but able to get the first. Does Zeus actually get this clutch? But 15 seconds left. Does he go for the stick? He would actually not, but it's just going to be up and down. Trying to stick it. Just go off the audio cue. 7 seconds. He is going to force that post plant. That's going to force Zeus out of position, but it's a 1v1. No healing syringe available for Zeus, and it's one. Juice is gonna slow creep, and it's a nail biter. See who gets if it's a tie or a map win for Eternity. But the HP difference is there. Stim available as well. And I think it's a one single wall bang to the side. Juice is gonna be getting a little bit more aggressive, but I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Which way does it go? Does Juice try and force Squeeze out to get that defuse? There's the pistol. They ran out of ammo. They ran out of ammo with their rifle. They had to go to the pistol, and Juice still had some in the tank. They still had some juice left, and they find a 7-5. Map 1. It is Eternity with the victory, and what a battle to wrap this map up. Hertaj, yeah, the heart.
Oh, my heart stopped. Oh. I for F3 fans, I know they're a little bit heartbroken because after that rifle was gone, it was over.
Juice shaking
They had
out.
that round. I'd argue F3 had that round, but
they really did.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, Juice clutched that one for them. Mindbaker doing fantastic. Look at the KD, 17-8 on the round. Heritage, 17 kills in a league match against a team that is just a few ranks beneath them, number 3 in the NA ladder. A team that is very good, that gave them a very hard fight during this series in Map 1, and that's definitely an impressive scoreline, to say the least. But wow, that's. I think if I'm correct, I believe there's a timeout coming. Let me check. Yeah, we may have a server swap. We may have a timeout coming. I'm not sure. But if there isn't, we'll jump right into the next round. But Hertaz, your thoughts on coming back in for an exciting series, F3 versus Eternity?
Oh, where to start? The competition is way more tighter than I've seen back. Ever since I first started catching breachers, ever since the game came out, I've seen, all the way they were like 7-0, 7-0s. Now I'm seeing 7-5, 6-6, where it does go to distance, and we're seeing the competition. It's more niche. and it brings a lot of viewing experience. It makes it more fun to cast rather than trying to commentate a 7-0 sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, having games like this, yeah, makes it fun to watch for sure. And well, I think the folks at home are definitely enjoying the action too. A shout out to everyone tuning in and stopping by. I see Filibust, the resident caster, stopping in, enjoying the action. Can't get enough of Breachers themselves as we run through a couple of the replays here from the series. But yeah, what a fight that was for map number 1. And where do we go from here? We look at the match history. Both teams only lost once, and both teams losing to Acer. But Ship.
And I think our next map is Factory from map 2. And if we go back to that matches page, I'd argue that they're around the same win percentage, honestly. Yeah. But I think they're a little bit more in terms of stats. We 61% win rate for Eternity, 61% on round wins. So it could, but same stat, 67%. I think we may see like something similar to Hideout.
Yeah, I think we're definitely in store for another pretty dang good back and forth. Let me go ahead and check if we are going into a bit of a pause here. Maybe Eternity. It seems like they're taking the time out, but Ace is now in instead of Proof, and so if anything, they've subbed in a player, and it does look like there's going to be no break, and we are going to be going into map number 2 on Factory. This is I love it. These teams are conditioned for high quality, for incredibly competitive play, and I know just in talking with them that a lot of these players are regularly playing in the ranked Discord. They're playing the most competitive bit of Breachers they can when they're not in league matches or scrims also, and so these guys, they're just constantly practicing to get better, and it's really exciting to see here on Factory with a heavy bit of utility opening things up for Eternity.
We're going to be starting off with the ground floor bomb site. And F3, they're trying to do the most, I would say, the most sleeper/boring push I've seen in Breachers, where they push orange. I wouldn't say it's boring. It's a little bit interesting, and it's common for people to push orange. So I usually get bored. I want to see one day maybe we'll get a 5-stack hatch on A side, but yeah. But F3 are going to play a little bit more safe after, that first map loss.
It's a hard one. It's a hard pill to swallow, and that is a tough, close series that they did have control of and just couldn't lock in those final moments. So now, with their backs against the wall, they must win this map, or at least tie it, to push us into a map 3 decider. So it's a long road that they also are looking ahead of them. That can be demoralizing if you start to overthink it and go, gosh, we have so many rounds we got to win against a team that's really competitive. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they can persevere through those thoughts. I think a lot of the game is mental, not necessarily. Obviously, being able to shoot good and connect with headshots is vital, as the Ace only finds one for their life before Flix will find the refrag.
Yeah, and that single fight, they didn't even try to push orange. They just made no progress. But F3, you do know that EMP is a thing, right? We can't be making this type of push onto electrical without that EMP retrieving. Thanks, Zeus. It's in a 4v3, and Flex is on critical HP, but the nade, I think that ended up a little bit short.
Oh!
Never mind. Somehow that breaks the universe, and it hits Flex all the way, trying to run back, as F3 art just went from a bad situation to even worse. It's down to a 4v2.
Eternity running away with momentum at this stage as they start to pinch in. Mindbaker finds a double over the top, and it's going to be the start of what could be the end. Eternity locking in a nice defensive round, getting an early lead on map 2, and pushing forward to their series victory. And it's six rounds away, so plenty to go, obviously, here in map 2. But F3, not the start they were hoping for, I imagine, Hertosh. I mean, again, what's the consecutive rounds that they've lost? Because it's got to be now either 3 or 4.
2.
I think they lost 2 in a row. So now it's 3, if you count this one. So they need to get some footing underneath them here with a round win, but I don't know that it's going to happen here because look at the investment from Eternity. 2 Vezins off of that map win to start things off, or that round win to start things off, and even a shotgun from Pennypacker. We've seen them do some very serious damage with that shotgun in this exact objective.
No skin on the shotgun, man.
Yeah, come on, Penny.
Come on, Penny. You spent the money on. Come on, you could have spent that money on Fade, but no skin on shotgun. I'm disappointed in you.
Maybe that's the style.
That's the key.
The skin,
yeah,
is to go no skin. One day, 5 years from now, when people are playing Breachers, wow, you got a no skin. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, just the most bland colors ever. Just gray, and like navy blue. Yeah, that's how the drip is. That's how the new gen and Breachers like. Yeah, you got your Fade skin, animated skins, but whatever. We got that. Azaniel is gonna be swinging right in with that beautiful spectral, but actually, I don't know how he got away with that. As Mindmaker able to find the first, able to get that second. As F3 have been denied their push, but Flex is able to find the first. Kill for F3, actually able to get that second. As Vezins are retrievable, but as we seen back in map 1, don't let greed get to the best of you. As they're still down a single player, and they're both on critical HP and it's Pennypacker with the shotgun, with the Knut, no skin, doesn't even matter. And just all down to Flex in a 1v3. He does have bad Vezin though. Actually, no, it got retrieved, so he's actually losing.
I've even seen teams prioritize throwing away extra Vezins so that nobody can get them, as the ace does not have the right idea. There's a Vezin into Flick's hands and a Hell Syringe. Pennypacker just has a shotgun on the short corner, does toss a nade. Flicks does take a decent chunk of damage from that and is dropped back off of the initial push. Juice and Penny alone in the hold here, but so far doing well to push back Flicks. Still, though, a Vezin in Flick's hands, the 1v2 is possible. What?
It's the magic shotgun. It's a magic shotgun. I'm telling you, there's something inside that. Maybe it's the bullets, but
what? The no-look blind shotgun blast to the chest down the doorway to catch the kill from Pennypacker. Oh boy, that's the shotgun. It's Penny's gonna make people use it in the mid game because they certainly make a argument for it here, and they're going back to it for their defensive round. Factory is almost the only place you can really find the best use out of it too. Maybe Ship with all the close edges, but Ship even has a lot of long hallways. Factory is almost all short corners and small rooms.
I mean, it is a little smaller, but I think I would argue it's a little bit even.
Okay.
And it's that bottom floor, what we have right now. A lot of these type of fights, they are around the outside, and it's a lot more of just who can react a bit better. As we have an early exchange between Talk and Flicks, a couple of shots traded, trying to, have better movement, see who gets one. But still, they haven't even tried to push.
An all-out fight here this afternoon. A lot of guesswork coming in, and no real advancement, like you said, available for this F3 team, just because of how solid the defense is. Juice does maybe open up an avenue. Still, though, the B push seems to be the focal point here. Is Bot makes their way in. Pennypacker just around the corner with the shotgun in hand. Here's the audio transmitter giving away info. Tosses the nade up and over, and it's a beautiful nade that doesn't catch anybody.
And I think it just ended up like on top. It didn't go a little bit too far. Bot's actually watching that. I'm not sure he realizes that Pennypacker's there. The shotgun doesn't work for Pennypacker as it's down to a 2v5. A little bit of more life coming in from F3. No lives dropped yet. They're going to be starting to set up. But Mindbreaker and Ace find a pick, making it to a 2v3. They're trying to spam that wall, hopefully find a single pick. Angel pushes out. What a flick from Baker, but immediately gets traded out. Down to a 1v2, all on Ace. Maybe just try to terminate, but Ace takes a chunk off from that frag grenade.
Yeah, I can't find the fight on to Zwiz. And that's going to be a big round for F3. The full buy, an EMP plant, 2 rifles carried into the next round, and control back into their side. It was 3 unanswered, 4 unanswered points in a row for the Eternity team, but map 1 wasn't easy for an Eternity, so map 2 certainly won't be easy for Eternity either. At least that's what Formula 3 are saying with that round right there, and now they're going to be able to full buy here, Heritage, so they're going to be coming at this, if anything, kind of rough Eternity team. Look at the economy of them. They can't even get in to full rifles here during this round.
I mean, they're kind of split in terms of economy. Ace is trying to go for another full buy, which is a little bit questionable. But it is this type of site where I think they have won before. So hopefully they're a lot more comfortable with their picks. And like all they have to do in terms of their firepower is try and isolate their site. Try to isolate those 1v1s. Don't try and give them double swings. That's going to be setting up for... So F3 is actually going to be setting up for Hatch. Maybe they want to try and execute A site. As the spam comes in, the drone's getting cleared out. Does spot Pennypacker. That ends up a little bit short. That drone is somehow alive, but does spot 2 inside of lockers.
Trying to get the static.
That shotgun.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's finding picks.
It found picks yesterday, or the other day too, against Acer as well. So it's finding picks against powerful opponents as Penny catches a trip mine kill there to try to drop down through the hatch. And Penny, a dangerous threat with the shotty in these close quarter hallways, these close quarter spaces. They actually are finding that shotty has some effectiveness. Now Bot, Guitar, and Zwiz, all that's left for F3, and they're focused over on A site where Eternity could almost kind of pinch in on them from that long hallway and now from the open door that they've just opened up.
That's killing. Just no lives drop in Eternity, so they're really, really strong. Proxy able to find Zeus. And, oh, I heard that spacebar backfire as Proxy's got to swing out. Doesn't find Guitar, though. And just look at that flick up game. Able to land a flashbang, but everyone's tucked in. Just right on cue. It's 1 minute 30. Not sure if saving still... I would obviously suggest saving, but I think Guitar is thinking of something a little bit different.
1v5. Yeah, I think the Eco's the right choice. No need to push in. Wait for what's likely to be a vault out this window to try and kill you because the Eternity team are hungry for that final kill, but I don't know that they're going to get that over-aggressive and risk doing something like that. Still, though, everyone alive for Eternity off of what was, again, a eco round for them. A shotgun and 2 Vezins is what they had bought into, and Pennypacker makes lemonade out of lemons. With a shotgun in hand, they find vital kills and set their team up for a successful defensive round. Eternity gonna grab a 3-1 here, and man, what is the adjustment for F3? What do they need to change on their entries? What's preventing them from finding success this afternoon?
I think if F3, I would just say just don't think of these overall strats. I would say from a caster point of view and entertainment point of view, just no brain rush and everything. I'd like to see that in tier 1 one day, but I think they have to start from scratch. All they have to do is scour out for info first, because what it looks like, they're trying to go in blind. They did have drone, but they just, for some reason, I feel like they went in without full knowledge of everything. They have just one piece of info that could be false, like Pennypacker there with that Canut. And, you know, even though they did realize that there was 2 unlockers, they weren't able to spot that tripwire, which also picked out one of F3's members. So I feel like they just have to get info first, and then maybe if they're able to just use that to their advantage, they could get a couple of rounds.
A decent investment coming in here from the F3 team. If they don't find some early picks and get set up with both Bot and Flix getting a rifle into their hands, they are gonna be, maybe they could be running into a tough time. If they lose here in particular, they're really gonna be down bad in round 6. We may be looking at RCPs and shotgun buys, which frankly have maybe done pretty dang good so far this series. I mean, I don't know. The RCP in a close quarters environment certainly did quite well on Hideout. So who's to say now with the success Pennypacker's finding with the shotgun that they'll I don't know. Actually, oh, interesting. We have a Vezin on the chest and a shotgun in hand. So maybe Penny will use that Vezin for suppressive fire, suppressive fire or wallbang fire, like we've seen them use the Marui for.
And F3, they're, I'd say, a little bit more scared because of the amount of conditioning that Eternity did on them. Angel's trying to swing out, maybe try to clear out that top. As no movement made yet. They're trying to maybe reduce the amount of spawn peaks, because Eternity did that back in round 1 and it ended up getting a couple of picks off. So maybe once they get, you know, that if they're IGL, I'm not sure who it is on F3. I believe it's Angel. And hopefully they make the good decisions of how to apply pressure.
There's that Vezin and shots through the wall from Pennypacker. Shotgun still on the chest for close corner fights as Proxy catches Angel, and Penny will toss a nade up and over. It's a good nade that catches Katara out. They can't drop back in time. It goes out the doorway. And F3 are down to 3. And
I think we found a new bug. That EMP's gone. I literally mean it. That EMP's gone. So now it's just gonna be a full-on deathmatch.
Interesting.
Yikes. It went from bad to worse for F3. Thankfully I clipped that, so I'll send that to the devs soon. Speaking of devs, Triangle Factory. You know, great people.
We have to hold off on that.
Push on.
Pennypacker
gets 2. It's all down to Flix into a 1-on-3.
The double kill over the top as the audio transmitter draws the attention away and Flix is alone. That was the Shoddy coming in and doing damage yet again. But to your point, well, let's get to it after this round as Flix is fighting for the life of their team. They need to tie this map or win map 2 to go into a map 3 decider. Otherwise, Eternity will push up and go 5-1 overall in the regular season, and F3 will go down 4-2, taking their second loss as Flix goes down and Eternity get ever closer to that reality. Now, a time to shout out the Triangle Factory team. We've been great collaborating with them so far and bringing you this preseason and season 1 of the VRML. They're also contributing into our prize pool. In addition to that, providing us with a gun skin that will be bought and sold on the store, available to anyone that plays, and a gun skin exclusively earned by getting into the top 8 of your respective regions. So there's a lot on the line for these teams. If you both consider, I think the cash comes first for a lot of them, but then that gun skin is second, up along with the hardware that you can win, because, man, that in-game, these I mean, maybe not for Penny with the shotgun, but for folks like you and me, Heritage, the gun skins mean quite a lot in a game like Breachers.
Yeah, and obviously it is a little bit controversial with the gun skins, but hey, for those in chat, give me
what do you mean?
some
Controversial. I don't think so. I think
I
there's
would
a
say
lot of
because
tons of excitement about him.
I think it's all excitement, but like a lot of people, their wallets gone. But
I told people, save some credits. It's going to be an affordable skin, the cheapest that you can set that skin price for. And so, yeah, no need to overinvest. But yeah, I mean, either that or earn it. Get into the top 8 and get yourself that unique, earnable gun skin. It's there's a lot to look forward to.
Just imagine going to Publix. Yeah, it's like back in the Echo days. People would go into pubs and be like, I got VRML tag. Look at that. As we're seeing a little bit of a pressure. F3 is going to be putting a lot more pressure onto A hatch, but no one on Eternity is budging.
Is there? I haven't heard that controversy.
Oh, man, you gotta beat her day 1 for the Discord, because that was a bunch of typers. There's no pressure yet. I'm not sure what F3's thinking. Maybe it is last round. They're gonna have to think of something. There's gonna be the first gunfight. Flicks on half health. Doesn't matter. Able to get the first. It's Proxy. Left alone now. As Shoots is gonna come back, trying to shoot through the wall. Benny Backer finds Angel, trying to get the rotate. It's a 4-on-4, full HP on Eternity, but it's so hard to progress now.
Server room tucked in by Juice. Everyone real close to being able to swing and do some serious damage to this F3 team. They've got to be careful about that quick peek, and Proxy waiting for someone to peek hatch. They've got a very dangerous hatch angle, really trying to watch in and deny the ability to throw that grenade down the hatch. Flix and Katara just a wall away from Proxy, and Zweez isn't going to test their luck.
That's a great smoke coming in from Proxy, as Proxy's actually going to be getting up aggressive, gets punished. Not aware about it, as there's a double smoke as well, covering Orange. And good luck trying to see through that. Down to a 4v3. The advantage is on F3, but they have to be a little bit more cautious. Plus that time pressure as well. Ace is able to find Flix. Just 3v3. Zeus needs to find a Pheasant. It's there. That proximity alarm's gonna go off. There it is. Katara trying to retrieve that EMP. Vezin tossed as well.
Utility, lots of things.
But there's 25 seconds left. They have to make a choice. Katara is gonna fall. Bot is gonna try and swing again. Able to get it as well. Bot's gonna get aggressive, gets punished for it. It's all that moves into a 1v2. Gets the first, but 10 seconds. All Ace has to do is just hide. There's no more time pressure, as it's gonna be 5-1 for Eternity here.
A tough round to lose on time alone, as he tries to push and is right here ready to challenge Ace. They're gonna have the fight, in Eternity will full wipe Formula 3, and we go into a side swap with Eternity 2 rounds away from locking this in. 2 pistol wins away from taking this series, Heritage. This is a pretty tough time for Formula 3 to be in. This is really backs against the wall moment for Formula 3 right now.
Yeah, and it is a lot of pressure, but it is side swap. All F3 just need to reset their mentality. But I will say Eternity, I'd say they're a little bit more stronger on offense, as their executes have been a lot more coordinated. And all F3 have to do is just just find these angles where they have that guaranteed chance to land a couple of headshots, as going from 7-5 all the way to 5-1. Even when we had a 3-3 back in Hideout, it's a little bit demoralizing.
Yeah, there's the mental game in full effect here for the F3 team, and it's a test of a good team, to be honest. You have to be able to battle back, because you're not always going to win. That's the reality of it. You're not always going to be in the lead, and there's got to be that ability to fight back. I mean, maybe unless you're undefeated, but currently no team is undefeated in this season 1, at least on the NA side, from my understanding. So everyone's taken a loss so far. Everyone's learned something from that loss, I assume. And Eternity looking good here, coming off of a loss from Acer. They're fighting hard against F3, but a couple of one-taps from Angel will put the pistol round in control of F3. They're up.
And we're starting good for F3 right now. Angel getting that 2 pick, and Eternity are gonna have to try and calm it down a little. They do have bridging foam up on that wall, and that's gonna open. And as well as balcony wall, that's gonna force as well. Zeus is gonna be stuck in that position. Zeus able to find Penny, swings out, pushes for vending, does not get juice though. Down to 4 on 2. Does end up hitting bot, but not for a lot of HP. They have to try and start some type of plan as Juice falls all down to Ace into a 1v4. Flashbang toss does flash guitar, but it doesn't even matter.
That's a big pistol round and a vital one at that. They needed to win here to get control of the back half of this, because now they have the economy. It's going to be a double Vezin buy, I presume. There's not going to be too much saving. At the very least, a single Vezin buy, which would be interesting because I suppose they have the freedom of losing this round and then going for the tie, in which case they may want a better economy, but economy management, that's the great debate, isn't it, Heritage? Do you go into that full buy? Do you go into that the double Vezin? Do you save a little bit so that in case you lose, you have an extra bit of funding? Like, how do you extend the life of a win like this? And I think we're seeing it here from F3. They're only going to go with a single Vezin and no utility.
I think they do have do they have utility? Probably. They do have one stack build on site. Yeah. But I will say it's a little bit of a questionable pick to go with Vezin, especially with that, 3-round difference.
Oh, they do have a static winner.
Yeah, I had 3-round difference. I would say try to extend have a lot more firepower to fight with, as I think I've seen this trap before. I know what Eternity are gonna do. That drone's gonna clear out that locker side. I think they're gonna try and 5-stack it all the way on Museum and try to play. Potentially, hypothetically, they may want to try and execute B. They just 5-stack Museum. It's gonna be setting up. They're drone down. They're trying to clear out that top area.
Safe.
We can see a little bit of faster play.
For sure. But they're making sure they're doing their work and clearing out that space. They cleared out the top floor from that initial hatch play, and now, yeah, you're seeing that full setup around the hatch. Here comes the full dump down in, and everyone pushing into B. Zweez is here to fight with a Vezin, but they'll lose that rival. And on the backside, Mindbaker swings in and is getting ready to pinch. Ooh. A fight on site. Angel with a double tap, the triple with the Vezin in the pickup, and a huge, colossal save from Angel to keep Formula 3 in this one.
If Angel didn't flake on time, if Angel didn't get there on time, that could have been a whole different story.
Oh,
and
my.
we could have been seeing series point. Now, that boost there with Zeus getting 2 and Angel to follow that up with 2 1-taps with the Taurus and 1 kill with that Vezin. Their momentum went from, what's the biggest dip in on Earth? I don't remember. I know it's in Dubai, but like the deepest pit ever.
Oh yeah.
And they're on Mount Everest right now in terms of mentality. So
I would love to see. I think one thing that I'm hoping that we can get down the road is to have when we pop up the scoreboard, is to have an economy graph. I think that would be really cool with the line in the middle at like a 0 point, and then you could see a team's going
there's
up
that
or
ball,
down.
that graph. Yeah.
I think that'd be real interesting.
Offbeat, you know what to do. And production team.
Yep.
That was my next suggestion.
We'll get Not Blue on it soon enough. Not Blue and Offbeat to help out, but. We are to the point. There has been a lot of feedback that people want to see levels and they want to see cash, because now on the new scoreboard you can see that, and so we understand. We are hearing, we're listening, and constantly making little adjustments and improvements, and maybe that will be one that we tweak into. But for now, at least, we do have. You can see it here on the scoreboard. I'll show you the levels. Everyone's been wanting the levels. There you go. Proxy finds a kill through the wall to open things up for Eternity. This is the start to their full buy round, and it's looking good for them.
And they're able to take down Angel, but it's a veteran round. So, and they're still good in terms of defense, although they are down by 1 single defender. As now they're gonna have to play this, coin toss of what site are Eternity trying to push through and what are they trying to plant. as even though that they have this pressure from Hatch and that breaching foam, I think it's a little bit questionable that they're trying to stack Zeus and Katara into the same site.
Seems that the presence is A site, but they do have Mindbaker still tucked in. If anything, maybe just watching the flank, not necessarily prepping for a B push, because now as the walls open up and nades come flying in, Pennypacker tucks into a tight corner to stay alive. They throw a nade of their own, which forces Katara out onto rotation. And now as Pennypacker tries to push in, another nade comes through and catches them out. They get stuck in between an immolation nade and a frag. Nowhere to go, and Proxy will quickly scoop up the EMP, fly over to a B, rotate, and get caught out in it. And punished. Mindbaker alone with Eternity on the back, with Ace on the backside in a 2v4.
And EMP is in the hands of F3. All they have to do is just camp that for dear life. But unless Ace gets that frag onto Katara, they just have to execute and maybe just find these 1v1s. They do know where Zeus is, and all they have to do is play a little bit more cautious, try not to budge, as they do have that player advantage. As Zeus actually is able to find Ace and able to retrieve it. Zeus gets that second, and it went from a 3 to 4 round deficit all down to 1.
The comeback for Formula 3 is in full effect here. The back half of map number 2, and it's only 2 rounds that Eternity have needed to secure, but they have not been able to get them on the offense. Factory proving tough for them as F3 go to full buy in Eternity. They've been in this situation before, I suppose, where they've been staring down the barrel of we're only going to be able to tie or lose this map, and they won. So I'm not going to count Eternity out just yet, but Formula 3, I suppose actually Formula 3 need to win 2 more rounds in order to get us into that tie situation. So there's still a little bit of ground. Yeah, if there's ever a round that you can let go, it actually is this one. So it makes sense that Eternity would eco. But even then, they got Penny and Juice investing.
Yeah, they have Juice going with Phenomenon. Oh, one of those wildcard picks, but with that single Vezin, I think it does make sense because, Pennypacker is their top fragger.
Yeah.
But Pennypacker is very, very far from the rest of the pack.
It feels like it could almost maybe even be the opposite because Penny has that Vezin. If they do lose it, the enemy team's not going to pick it up. They don't need it. You can kind of play off the idea that your opponent is well enough geared, but all of that math done in such a short time, calculated into your strats, it's a lot to be doing at a high level. And at the very least, Eternity have decided to invest this round and take the risk. So we'll have to see. Penny has worked their way in a little bit to the backside of a Juice right here with them. Both of the heavy hitters right next to each other with the pistols. Maybe going to be utilized for a distraction or fly into the
They might
hatch.
push A. They're going to try and execute A here because they did have that wall open. But the static field there is going to respawn. The smokes pop as the hatch does open as well. Flix falls, but Zeus able to find one off from the top. So now they're a lot more aware. Nate Prime trying to roll that under, hopefully find a single pick, but unable to. I believe that did get Juice, but with that healing syringe, we're back right where we started.
Well, Juice now has a Vezin.
Yeah, they're doubled, which I mean, 4 Vezins to 2 is, I would say, a bit of disadvantage. But if we look in terms of map space, Eternity have so much more to offer. They could try and pinch this A site as they're going to be setting up that breaching foam. Now, Angel actually finds Mindbaker. Wall from the back of A site does open as Bot has to focus his attention towards that. But Eternity...
Oh!
Ace actually finds one with the...
What?
The Taurus gets the second! It went from winnable, but down to fully even. It's just 2v2 Juice. It's one, but Angel, the Lord and Savior of F3, can he do it and try and keep his team alive? Nade right there. Toss. It's gonna roll. It's almost good, but toss at the time. Angel gets it. And we are 5-5. What a comeback coming in from F3. We are still playing this. We are not seeing a series point.
To the credit of Eternity, they did almost claw back from an eco round. From one Vezin and an Omen, they almost win up against F3, but they can't. And now they are in a little bit better shape. We see almost a full buy from them with 4 rifles coming through. And in comparison, F3's also able to fully equip themselves. So the deciding rounds coming with these last 2 deciding if we go to a map 3, which I'm going to guess is ship, considering that both of these teams have played it the most. But I also don't believe that Formula 3 or Eternity like ship. So it doesn't matter if you played it the most if you don't even like it. So, who knows if we're going to go to Skyscraper or ship for our last map, and who knows if we're even going to get there. It's up to Formula 3. They need to win at least a round to take us to that 3rd map, and Eternity need these next 2 to wrap this series up with a 7-5 win. Like map 1, 7-5. So they've done it here. They've gotten these final 2 when they've needed to. Maybe they can do it now again on Factory.
And they're going to be, I think it's the same shed as usual, try and force pressure on Museum. As the drone's going to be clearing out that top floor. And I'm surprised that, I think it's the same, it's this exact same position we seen back when we got this site again. Only difference is that Eternity has that Vezins to work with, or they try and push onto a site as their first line of defense is going to be Katara. Flex is able to come in for support. Nade's going to be tossed. Nade thrown. End up, I think, a little bit short. But the Wallbang's coming in. There's going to be the first shots exchange. Flex takes a couple of chip damage. Drone's going to be able to clear a couple. Easily taken down, though. Mindbaker and Katara are in the fight of their own. Nade, that's good enough to take down Angel. The EMP plant right there. They know where it is. Juice finds Flix, though. But they have to worry about that EMP. Katara's low on 5 HP. They're going to start to stick it. Katara falls as well. 5-1. All down the bot. And it's starting to fall out of F3's hands. The post plant's going to come in for Eternity. And it is devastating.
Wow. Complete control of the environment with a great pinch, perfect coordination, overwhelmed the F3 defense entirely. And that almost looked like a bit of a different Eternity than the last few rounds. Maybe it's their Connie, maybe it's how they started, but the way they were synced up on that push heritage, they looked very good crashing in on that objective. And that's what we're talking about when we say, these teams are capable of stuff like that. Those full court presses, applying everyone and all the strength of your team onto one objective and really making it hard for that defense to stay alive. Smokes, utility, great bit of teamwork. The force with the EMP plant causing Katara to have to peek out, catching those kills. I mean, just the entire package there for Eternity. Really well done, and now F3 can't even full buy. We're seeing an Omen and Katara left with just a pistol, 3 rifles into the hands of the F3 team. This is Eternity's series to win right here in the final round of map 2.
And this is our second map that we went the distance, round 12.
Yeah.
Everything,
yeah.
F3 has everything to lose here. They don't want, neither team wants their second loss. So you can see a little bit more pressure onto Orange. You see a little bit of a default push with a 4-stack. Drone's gonna come in, gonna be able to maybe clear out this Orange side. As F3, they have to be a lot more ready for this type of push. They've been caught off guard and was never prepared. And and they're trying to set up around A site.
That seemed to be the play. Both sides opened up here with the wall getting foamed down onto A. And yeah, this looks like the push. Nades, utility, flashes coming in. Smoke to deny Angel and Zwee's vision and the ability to push up onto A site. Another smoke comes down, but Flix finds a kill before the smokes can deny vision. A great bit of sight there as Zwee's comes flying in through the smoke. They'll go down. In a rough push for Eternity, the play does not go the way they were hoping, and with only 3 left, it's a 3v5.
And those smokes, I think, decided it for Eternity. F3 was able to use their utility to the advantage, cover the smokes, don't let Eternity get any type of viewing distance. And, smokes and type attack shooters, though, they could just break any line of offense or defense.
Wow, a massive hold for F3. Staying focused, not getting mentally broken here. So he's just on a short corner, could easily spring a trap on the Mind Baker, but Mind will drop all the way back, likely reunite with Penny and the Ace, and it could be a B-site push now, but they've got to work out the utility problem. Static emitters are down, denying entry.
And they're just trying to maybe isolate some type of site. As they did get that wall open, but they're immediately met with a static field. Is there a minute left on the clock? As all F3 have to do, because they never lost a single life. Now they're actually going to be able to push on the site. Mindbreaker's going to be able to start that plan. Angel's going to stop it. Doesn't. Actually, never mind. Mindbreaker's going to keep going. But Bot gets a second. Ace able to find Zeus. 1v3. Ace on the man. 11-7. But just, if we're looking at the first person view of Ace, the nerves are there. The amount of shaking. Able to find Flicks. But there's 30 seconds left. Ace has to push on through.
Ooh, they have the camo to use. Yeah, they can push in pretty nicely here. The team doing a good job of staying tucked in. The static emitter, a bit of a wrench in the plan, and Bot will fly out to find the kill. We're going to a third map. We are not out of the woods just yet.
I pray for ship. Maybe, I think they will go ship. I believe that this is Eternity's pick. Or no. I think it's F3, so they may go ship as well. I think they both. Wow, from what was it 4-1?
Yeah, a commanding
they came back.
5-1. They had to secure just 2
more 5-1.
points.
Oh yeah, about that. Yeah, I still believe in a 5-1 curse. I think it was the 5-1 curse that hit Eternity. So that's just me. F3 was able to come back. After what it looked like. It looked like it was about to be 7-1.
Did.
Or 7-2.
Yeah.
And
series done. Eternity wrapping it up, taking their win, going 5-1. But it's not the case just yet. Maybe, Phil. Both of these teams... Or Phil. Wow. Oh, jeez. Heritage. Both of these teams will fall into their first tie. And will go 4-1-1. Because at this stage... they are barreling towards that. If F3 can take this final map, they'll tie the series overall. If Eternity win the final map, then they will be the victor of the series. So it's a tie or lose situation for F3, which I guess isn't necessarily ideal, but it's better than, at least that's the option. At least it's there for them to potentially get back into this. So it's wow, a fantastic series and a good time to shout out the sponsors for the league that come in and contribute in over $8,600 in cash and hardware to the VRML and into the Breachers Season 1 prize pool. Those sponsors include HyperX, providing us with fantastic products on the casting desk like the ProCast, as well as the Cloud 2s, Cloud Mix Buds, a great supporter of the VRML. And you can get a discount right now, 15% off of any purchases in the U.S. if you use code HXVRML23. They're contributing into our hardware portion of the prize pool, and so we do appreciate their support there as well. We're also sponsored by Helga, the esports bot manager. It's a bot that helps you organize and schedule your games. It's a bot made by VRML players for VRML players. Subscription-based service that you can get your first month for free if you sign up in the Discord right now. They're providing lifetime subscriptions to our first and second place team captains in each region, and we do appreciate their support. We're also sponsored by Triangle Factory, obviously coming in and supporting us with that prize pool and with those 2 gun skins. We really do appreciate their support there, and we're really excited to get more details about those skins to you. And last but not least, ProTube, a stellar sponsor that's been supporting the VRML since our inception. They provide great stocks that help stabilize your aim in game, and you can get a discount right now on your ProTube purchase if you use code ILOVEVRML at checkout. It does look like we are going to go into a timeout here. So we will be taking a 5-6 minute break from now. But when we come back, it will be the Map 3 decider. So don't go anywhere. More VRML action in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for patiently waiting through the timeout here as both teams take a brief break. And, I mean, can't argue them from what has been a exciting series. 5-7 map 1 on Hideout, 6-6 on Factory. Looks like we're going to Skyscraper for map 3. And Heritage, I'm curious on your thoughts on Skyscraper to wrap up this series.
Well, this was 100% F3's pick. If we go through match page, now, before we go into, I will say it is a little bit false information because the only time F3 have played Skyscraper was the match between Formula 3 and Bandit, which that was the only documented game in which Skyscraper was played. Compared to Eternity, where it is, although a 50% win rate, they have played it twice with a 52% round win. And it is against a couple of notable teams, I believe, such as Wicked and I think Determined as well. Yes, Wicked and Determined. Those are at least the two documented games from Eternity that have played on Skyscraper. So it is a little bit of a coin toss. As I would say, it is kind of a bit surprising F3 did go Skyscraper because, you know, ships in the map, and so, some would argue it's a little bit more offensive sided compared to Skyscraper's heavily defended side of map. So maybe they just want that, you know, 5-6 round lead and just try and end it playing as Enforcers.
Yeah, I'm curious because I feel like Eternity, with how they've been playing, they may kind of have the better chance here on Skyscraper, but there's unknown metrics, so to speak, and we'll have to see. I guess that's the beauty of a map 3 like this in particular. You know, we're deep into the season. These teams have been playing quite a bit. Both of them only lost once. Both of them do not want to get their second loss this afternoon, and so when the pressure's on, who knows what we're going to see? Who knows who we're going to see stand out and find the 1v5 clutches that are in the back pocket? You know, I think anything is possible this afternoon, as we do see Eternity just for now setting up through that back room entrance and getting ready to breach in through the hatch down onto B site.
They're just gonna open up this B hatch, and F3 are leaving it open. I think they just want to opt to play retake, but if Eternity realize this, they're just gonna play aggro. They're trying to play outside towards the lobby. As this first engagement, actually, never mind, as Zeus actually gets spotted by the drone, it's gonna back off for a while. And as the drone is in fact on B site, they realize that they have that control now. As Mindbaker makes their way in, Natos able to deny any top rotation. Zeus able to find proxy juice, able to get that refrag. It's down to a 4v4, but that EMP plant is gonna start.
Bots right here, ready to swing. Mindbaker connects with one. They'll quickly go down. Katara on the refrag. EMP's been planted, though, and as Katara tries to push in for the retake, they'll find shots from Pennypacker through the hatch. Flix and Angel are all that's left, and Penny, for Proof, will find the final kill. Flix was still alive. They'll find a double, and Proof now needs to find the final kill. It's Flix alone with no health syringe and 15 HP. A one-tap from a Taurus Anywhere finds Proof the final kill, and wow, Flix has actually rotated up to the top floor.
Oh, this could be timing. I think Proof might have made the right call. It's Flix. Oh, this could be
this
a
is smart.
race.
Proof's running away now. Flix has to drop down through hatch. They will, and it's a fight that Proof will win because Flix was so low on HP. But it comes down to a 1v1 pistol round to start our map 3 decider. Oh, Heritage, we're in for a good one here.
They want an enforcer, by the way. I think they should have just F3 should have held their ground on that round. I don't know what was the reason. Maybe they just wanted to play a little bit more of a retake. But leaving that B open is like a really risky move, because you opt to have that potentially wall open and you rotate, and if you try to go through connector, that's gone. If you try and go through hallway, that's also gone. And there is a lot more there's a lot less options the moment you let any type of plant happen on B. As we look at Eternity, they're going to be opting in for anti-eco. They're going to have at least, I think, 3 players with Pheasants. They want to extend that lead, which makes sense. They're on enforcers, and F3 I think they just have to try and isolate fights. Maybe they could just get a couple of flanks.
Yeah,
I think all they have to do is get a couple of flank picks.
Those are real, if anything, easy to pull off on a map like Skyscraper. You have multiple floors, plenty of routes to take to try and get behind your opponent. But I say easy, and that's kind of a relative term, because considering here Eternity are a very experienced squad, and they're fully clearing their way through these areas, it seems to me that there's no real easy flank either. As maybe something can get set up from Angel. They're up on the top. Juice here on the short corner and outside could get dropped on at any moment. And Angel on the stairs. Now maybe going to get ready to fly out and drop. Would they drop out the hatch and down onto the back of Mindbaker? That's a pretty risky play to make, but I don't think that's coming through as Mindbaker and Proxy stay safe in the bathroom.
There's actually a double flank, both Flix and Angel on that top. If Angel did make that risk, Pennypacker was there on the ready just in case there wasn't an aggressive push. Katara is able to take out that drone. There hasn't been any progress from Eternity yet. They did get that wall open as bot to just try and fight that site alone. So far, Mindbaker finds Angel, finds Flix. Now it's down to a 3v5. The Vestin players, they have 2 Vestin players, but what a turnaround from Katara, able to find Pennypacker the moment Penny tried to open up that window. Down to a 3v4. The HP deficit is massive on F3.
Yeah, just slivers of health on Eternity as well, but both teams battled, wounded, and still defending, ready and waiting for this push, and Eternity are not backing down. They still have 3 Vezins in hand, plenty of utility available, as Proof will scoop up that nade and be the lead fragger for the team. You can see actually a couple of nades getting exchanged. Maybe Mindbaker the one that's going to be the fragger, as they're going to rotate all the way around to the doorway, to the outside window, and maybe try and draw attention over onto this B site. There's the nade in through. Bot in a bit of a bind there, and there's a full-on fight here. Bot caught out between the pinch of this offense. Proxy finds Zweez swinging in, and now Mindbaker inside B. The team full control. Eternity take the gamble with 3 Vezins, and so far it's paying off with just Katara left alive.
And it's a 1v4, and it is hard to try and take this back, as Eternity is fully split. They have multiple players, I believe, around the outside. They have Mindbaker on that window. They have 2 players hanging around that EMP plant, and Mindbaker to just kill Katara the moment they try to push out that window. And it's pretty strong for Eternity, winning 2 on Enforcers.
Yeah, they make the big investment too, and they maintain all 3 of their rifles through that round, so they're in very good shape. They've got 2 rounds in their pocket, a full buy for F3, but Eternity definitely have the momentum and are in control. And to have offensive rounds on Skyscraper is pretty solid, if I'm not mistaken, right? To have at least these 2 opening here, it definitely puts Eternity in a pretty good spot, even considering what we have coming in the back half when we swap sides.
Yeah, and maybe this single rifle round could potentially decide everything. Maybe F3 actually gets some momentum, because the last time this happened, Eternity, they would end up losing 2, and F3 would come back 2. Maybe we see a repeat, but I will say F3 kind of have to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems that Eternity are really the ones that have the control of the tempo. They're the ones that are setting it. They're pushing in on their time. And F3, again, maybe it's getting that early roaming pick that they need to find. Maybe it's Bot finding success here, but they'll be spotted quickly, and they'll have to drop off of that angle, or I guess stay and be aggressive and maybe try and find this early pick for F3. Another drone's going to come in to make sure that Bot's gone, and Bot's not gone.
And the drone there, I think it's still trying to ghost ping that's there. The wallbang's coming in, trying to force pressure into control, but Angel's able to find Mindbaker off of that lurk. They know that 2 is inside of that offside, but now there's a lot more pressure from Eternity. And Bot is able to find Juice, but Proof gets that refrag. But Eternity have had to have waste 1 breaching foam just to get a single player, but it's a 3v3.
A lot of foam used not even on their...
Not even on the right site.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see how this team uses utility. Even in a moment there, they're using it to almost attack. They wanted to open that wall up to get rid of cover for their opponents so they could find that kill. And honestly, that's the last thing you're kind of expecting, as Flix finds Proxy a big kill down that long hallway. And it's going to be just Penny and Proof alone to try and lock this in and push Eternity up 3-1. And like you said, it just gets reversed. It goes back and forth. And will Eternity find this next? I don't know. I just don't think that they're in control right now, especially with how F3 are set up.
F3 are set up to play a lot more cautious. They know they have to buy time, or Eternity gets side control and they have player control. It's down to Flix into a 1v2. I'm not sure if they realize that Flix is behind them. Actually, Pennypacker does spot it. It's down to Flix with only a healing syringe. But in terms of look where that EMP is planted, they know where it is. All they have to do is just buy time, force Flix to play this guessing game of who's going to peek first.
It's a solid spot. You got you literally have to watch both doorways if you want to defuse, and that's exactly why it's planted there. Very nice job as Penny rotates on the back end. So far away. Here comes the defuse. Flix is going to try and stick it initially. Proof is there to fight. Do they get one tick? I think they do. That's two. They could defuse this. They cannot allow this to happen. Penny goes down. Proof gonna swing out, and Flix will find the kill. Time? They have to get all three. They get it. Wow.
Oh, that's a highlight if I've seen one.
How much sex? What was that?
4-1.
Oh my
that
gosh.
Was too close.
Just needed to hold them back one more second. Quite literally. And oh man, that one's hard to swallow, but Eternity aren't in a bad spot because of how well they did in their early rounds. They went into that one with almost no investment. They didn't buy any of those rifles, and so they're now going in here into round 4 in a rare situation, able to full buy. Look at F3. Because they all died, and there was only one that survived, they're only going to be able to come out with not even 2 rifles because Flix doesn't even have enough to buy a rifle for their team. So there's not enough for more than 1 rifle on the F3 side. So Eternity's still in control of economy, if not in a much better position economy than they were the round before off of losing. So it's just an interesting way, again, that they've managed their money and they found themselves now into a position where they're still in control off of a round loss. But I say that with Katara finding an early kill. Doesn't get the rifle into their hands, but it is a rifle down for Eternity.
And now there's a lot more pressure. As Eternity have control of podcasts, and the nade's going to be tossed trying to clear it out. But in terms of firefight, if Eternity could just take this for free, all they have to do is spot them, only has doors, unless Angel from that flank gets one, but only gets one. It's down to a 2v3, but there is a rifle in hand, gets the first. Can he clutch again? But he's getting pressure from both sides, tries to run away and cannot. 1-3, and Eternity are still going strong.
It's just good teamwork from Eternity. They do that well. In the 1v2s, typically they are very efficient at working together on their pushes, and that's something that, you know, obviously can really separate you apart as a team from the others if you're able to effectively utilize those 2-man pushes and gain that advantage like they consistently do. So a great job from the duo to pinch in, find that kill. They've only let a round squeak through, but they're now back in control. They save quite a bit through that round with minimizing those deaths. The overall scoreboard looking like quite a solid kill-death ratio coming in from both Mindbaker and Proof, 7-2 and 6-2 respectively.
When you have a bunch of really good shooters in a game like Breachers, as long as you have those, one-tap guns, and that's not discrediting F3 because they do have a couple of players that can also shoot as well. I think even though Angel is around 2 to 4, there's been a couple of frags where it has mattered. But obviously, our main standout is Flix. That 2-round clutch, that 1v2 clutch.
Yeah.
And the amount of pressure he had to deal with. I think we could just rightfully dismiss the scoreboard stats.
Yeah, for sure.
Angel's actually going to be in a bit of a bad situation. Wall down, he's going to have to back up. He's going to have to forfeit that hatch. Oh. But Flix, this is why you worry about that second roamer. Able to get Mindbaker and Proxy. Now they have to worry about how did that happen. Now the flashbang toss, unfortunately ending up a little bit short as Angel could rightfully reposition, so position himself to get one single frag. As Bruce wakes up, Angel gets that second, and it's the roamers to just do their job as taken. It's all down to Pennybacker. Frustration from him. Tries to toss the nade. Hopefully try and find something. Retrieves a Vezin, but no lives dropped. And it just all happen with a blink of an eye, and it's Flex to close it out. And we are gonna go to the final round of the first half here.
Oh.
Those roams will kill you.
Yeah, I mean, that's Skyscraper, right? That's the threat of Skyscraper, is the roam, is the danger of someone swinging up a stairwell, peeking a long hall, being tucked in and waiting to swing on your back when you're least expecting it. And Eternity, they didn't anticipate a loss, or at the very least anticipate getting nothing saved through that round, because now they do not have any money to buy into anything but pistols and one rifle. It's a complete swap of economies, and Formula 3 are looking to take this 3-3 in Map 3. The series so far, 5-7 in Map 1 to Eternity, 6-6 in Map 2, so we're tied there. And this third map decides if we are either tied in the overall series. If Formula 3 win this map, they will tie the overall series. If Eternity win this map, then it is the series win for Eternity. They go up 5-1. Both teams only have one loss, so it could be their first tie or their second loss. That's really what's on the line here for F3 at least.
Yeah, and they just have to try and think of something. F3, they just... hopefully on offense, where it's going to be a little bit tough for Zeus and Mindbreaker in a bit of firefight of their own. Door block there on window. A little bit questionable position, but makes sense. Trying to force pressure, trying to be a little bit unexpected with these window pushes. As no progress yet. As you can see, Eternity, they didn't even push inside the building. They're playing really fast because those roamers of Angel and Flix have conditioned Eternity so much where they're gonna try and clear out everything, but with that, they're gonna waste so much time.
Audio transmitter giving information to Angel, who's just here, ready to push onto the back of this offense. They're out in the front, so if they go down, it's a Vezin into the enemy's hands. They cannot afford to not find kills. The nade tosses in, Proof gets half health, and down they go. Pennypacker doesn't expect Angel to be here either, and it's a double kill. They'll get picked up, and in the chaos, another will come through for the Eternity team, and so it's 2v3. 2v2.
As Proxy is able to find bot, but without the cause of Zeus, and Proxy being the firefight, Zeus gets that pick all down to Mindbreaker in a 1v2. He does have a Vezin though, but no falling utility. I'm not sure if Katara heard that single footstep, but with that window closed, obviously not. 1v2, but that EMP is all the way inside a bathroom. Zeus knows the EMP's there. That's gonna be so much time wasted, and it gives F3 they have nothing to lose here.
But Eternity, for them even to stay this close in this round is pretty good, because they came in with pistols. And Mindbreaker's going to take a pretty standard route back. They may catch Katana rotating around if Katana's not too careful, but the timing. Mindbreaker will drop off. Katana won't peek all the way out. And what is the play for Mindbreaker? Where's the EMP? Because that's up next, and, well, maybe Katara's first. A nice 1-2 tap, and now we're into a 1v1.
The 1v1 with 20 seconds left. Zeus has to play this guessing game of where does Mindbreaker peek? Is he gonna peek via vents or through the door?
Oh, and they see the elbow!
It gets it. As we are tied 3-3 as we swap sides. We're seeing a little bit of a repeat on map 1 as we are back right where we started.
Holy cow, a incredible back and forth from F3 and Eternity. And Eternity cannot find an easy round wherever they look. That's the point, though, of the matchmaking system, is so that we test and find the best of the best that play this game. And, I mean, we're really seeing it right now. These two teams, as a reminder, both squads have only had one loss to the Acer team. And otherwise, they're undefeated. And so, trying to maintain that somewhat scarred record and go up 5-1 right now. Like I said, though, Formula 3 can only tie or lose because of how they've performed in those first 2 rounds. And so it's not ideal for Formula 3, and Eternity still have a chance at least winning. The worst case, I suppose, for Eternity is a tie. And so that's, at the very least, should give them maybe a little bit of, take a little bit of the pressure off of the team.
Yeah, but there's still Elo to win here. As the drone comes in, trying to clear out. Proof is actually going to be playing a little bit more aggressive. Angel's able to take down Penny Packer. That was from the lounge side as well. But Flex and Katara have to be a little bit more careful if they want to try and go through this door. They're going to do it, but I'm not sure. But Proof is ready on that flank. But Katara's watching and takes him down. But Proxy gets Angel. Realizes, but the Tripwire is going to stall that lounge push. As Zeus is pushing out, able to take down Mindbaker. But Mindbaker from that grave kills Zeus with that frag grenade. As it's down to a 3v2, the advantage is in that favor of F3. As they just have to decide what site they want to execute. As Eternity are fully stacking on B site. But Bod able to find the first. As Jukes is being heavily pressured from Connector. As Flex and Katara are trying to push through, trying to force him all the way back to A site. But the post plant is going to start, and the EMP is starting its defuse. As now Juice has to decide how to approach this.
Getting ever closer to that tie reality here as F3 are in control, and a big wing shot coming in there. Juice fortunately doesn't get their head tapped, but the Taurus hurts regardless of where it hits, and Juice only has 5 HP. At this stage, I could even understand maybe just holding off and not throwing that extra 150 into the wind, but they may go in and try and clutch things up, looking for the 1-2 taps, trying to catch a short corner, catch them off guard. Maybe they won't push in, and ultimately Juice could be saving, not allowing this extra kill to come through.
As time winds down, Flex is going to try and chase. As he gets it, add that one to the score. 11-4 for this man. He has been dominating on the server right now.
11-4, and now momentum into the F3 side. I mean, they are going to be full buying into this round, or maybe not. Yeah, there's 2 rifles coming in. Wonder if we'll see any more than that. 2 fully kitted rifles, it seems. And they could almost full buy. They could go 4 rifles right now if they wanted to.
I'm not sure if going full Betsons is that good a call, though.
Well, there's 3.
They want that round lead. I know that they've almost had it on. They could have tied on Hideout. I don't know why the team came up in my head, but I actually no. Looking back, I think it is a good call because this is one of the window sites where all you have to do is swing window, and there's at least 3 angles to look from when trying to execute, and there's gonna be, I believe, 2 roams coming in from the side of Eternity. Well, this could be close.
It really could be. F3 barreling in, drone work in front, making sure there's any early aggressors tucked in and trying to catch the backs of this F3 offense, as B site seems to be the initial approach. They're taking the long way to get there, and Proof may be able to hear some of this. Penny is identified with the drone. They'll rotate completely off of their position they were initially on, but they were positioned to try and rotate around and get behind that F3 team. Maybe still that's the play as they now vault off. No, they're rotating all the way back to reinforce this A site. They took the safe rotation. Proof pushed forward and got caught by the entire F3 team.
And the F3 trying to put more pressure on the B. I think they actually have that for free. All they have to deal with is proxy on site. They do that. Now that's a free plan. Down to a 5v3, but Juice cannot try and peek that connector again. But the roams, just look at that. Pennypacker's gonna try and push. And that was an awkward gunfight, but Mindbreaker's gonna get 2. Now that's an EMP. That's the Vezin in their hands. Flix gets the first. Pretty sure they realize that Mindbreaker is behind that barricade.
What?
But Flix falls. There is no way F3 lose this. In terms of economy advantage, all down the bot. But both have Vezins in their hands. And the pressure is on.
EMP has been planted, so Mindbreaker's going to have to push in and defuse. And Bot's there to catch the headshots. They lock in around 5, but just barely. And Eternity, well, maybe could have benefited a little more from taking away a rifle out of that round. But they do get a hefty amount of kills, a little bit of damage to the F3 economy. And going into this next round, what's the play? Double Knut and 2 Vezins coming in from Eternity. They don't have a lot of options. Oops, apologies there. Went to the scoreboard. They don't have a lot of options in front of them, and they 1 round away. If F3 take this round, actually they could still, if Eternity tie, then they'll still win the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Eternity can afford a tie here, but they cannot let Formula 3 win this map.
And for those that don't know how the silly elo system works here in VRML, basically, I believe this has happened in Onward before. I'm not sure which teams, but you could still technically tie the game. But in terms of overall round wins, if F3, let's say, were to win the next 2, it would still technically count as a draw, but they would gain that elo over in terms of round wins. As in terms of matchmaking, we can focus on this. We are not playing rigged. This is a league match, as we're going to be forcing pressure on the podcast. They're going to try and throw flashbangs, but the Proof and Mindbreaker are going to be that first line of defense. Nate Jerome ending up a little bit short. I don't know how that actually didn't damage Proof at all.
No kills connect, so no push comes in. And they all rotate around to the long side to make their way in. Go down the hallway, make sure that's clear. Run into Proxy, who gets a perfect nade onto Zweez. And F3 finally suffering an early kill.
It's 5-4. It's rough right now. They haven't tried to push through hallway, and they haven't been able to or trying to even push podcasts. They don't even know Proof's there. Mindbreaker able to find Flix. But Bot's actually able to find Proof, but without getting traded by Juice. It's down to a 2v4. Swinging on through. Taro setting up that breaching foam. But question is I'm pretty sure Eternity is more than ready. When it happens, they are more than ready. Guitar is able to find Juice, but without Mindbreaker swinging and getting the kill. It's Eternity. They're up. They're gonna get their they're gonna get their 4th round here.
It is a big hold for them, and they get 3 rifles out of that. So economy's under control for them now. They'll be able to full buy here with utility, be comfortable enough for round 11 at least. But on the comparison, F3, wow, they're only getting. Well, yeah, this is. We just keep going back and forth. I mean, it just keeps going back and forth. There is no easy wins this afternoon for either of these teams. Even if I don't even know if it's worth talking about a rifle disadvantage at this point, because who knows? We're seeing crazy 2 taps, double kills with Spectrals in hand. Instead, Taurus is finding these big. It's at this stage. These players really are executing on another level, and any weapon is dangerous in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, against, in Tier 1 play, any gun's a dangerous gun. Yeah. It could even be the silly Jesper Banana, and that could kill someone. In terms of meta right now, even though it is still technically a Vezin Marui meta, we're starting to see a lot more branched out varieties. But Proxy shooting through that wall, able to find Angel in the first 30 seconds of the round. Nade toss, ending up a little bit short though. But I think F3, they just got to try and overwhelm a site.
Sometimes easier said than done as Katara finds the 1 kill over the top. F3 bot watching the long way as Flicks comes flying into A site. Juice goes down, and in the chaos, the back end is pinched by Mindbaker as Weez just has a cyclone and cannot battle back the double Vezin pinch that was coming. And Blinken, you would have missed it, but Eternity take another round, 2 away from taking the series.
I feel like if they just played a lot more aggro, like, they still didn't even have info on the site. They still made that risk. And if they benefit off of Katara getting 2 frags, maybe they would have set it to match. They would have said it's a series point. But we're still going the distance, and the economy for F3 is damaged.
This is series point technically. If Eternity win here, then they will guarantee the series win because it's either a tie or a map win from then on out for them. So this is the vital round for the series from F3. So they have to invest. They have to go all in. They're going with the double Vezin buy, the drone coming in, utility coming through for the rest of the team. And they're fully kitting out those rifles with all the attachments. So they're going in all the way on this round. They understand where they're at on in the series right now. They've done the round math. And, I mean, I'm just now realizing this, Heritage, but we're going to go the distance. We're playing every single round of this series.
Whoa, we get to play 36 rounds? Yeah. But if you're an F3 fan, give them your energy because they need it in the most crucial round possible. They're going to drone in early. They realize the door blockers, they're immediately taken out. They realize that there's going to be a couple of players inside a bathroom, but the decision to push is decided on them. You know, one wrong decision could spill the entire series and slip out of F3's hands. They've burned down to a minute. And they're trying to clear out they're clearing out realms. They want to get rid of everything here.
They're really tired of
wall
being
bang.
flanked.
That's the first kill. That could decide everything. Proximity goes off. Juice able to get that frag off of Angel. Nade toss knocks down Katara to 50%. The wall bang tries to push through Mindbaker. Oh, the swing here could decide it, and it does. EMP down 3v5. Proof gets bought, trying to peek from the outside, and this could be it of F3 series. Mindbaker swings again. But the player count is too large to try and do it. Maybe getting into 1v1s can help. Molly, everything else could decide it. Flicks, the player that has been doing so well this entire series, able to find Juice, but no healing syringe. Oh, Flicks is going to be stuck at 52. And nope, and 1 minute left. Mindbaker is still hanging around the same spot as usual. He's never budge. Flex is gonna push. Mindbaker's gonna swing. Gets the first, cannot get the second. 1v3, 22 HP. All on Zeus. Smokes up. Oh, it's a little bit risky to try and cross. Able to retrieve the EMP. But the stealing, able to get it. But now they know where Zeus is. But the pinch is gonna happen. Zeus cannot do it, and that is it. 6 rounds and eternity. They're gonna take this entire series. They could throw the last round, doesn't even matter. They've won map 1. They're gonna take that with pride. And they're gonna do it here for today.
We won't throw up the win scoreboard just yet.
We're gonna play the full thing. We'll play the full thing.
We'll get all 36 rounds on camera, okay? Because that's what we are playing out here this afternoon. That's what these teams have brought it to. And what a fight from the F3 squad. They really, with a new addition into the roster, for them to play as well as they have, it's certainly a impressive opening to that new roster. It's not the ideal opening, of course. They obviously would have liked a tie or a win here this afternoon. But to battle up against a team like Eternity, a team that has won in other leagues as the number one team, a team that historically is right up in there in the top 5 of the best Breachers teams, I think it's a very good showing from Formula 3. So, if anything, something to take home for the F3 squad. And I love to see that they're still focused on playing this one all the way through with the drone work and very much still locked in, trying to tie this final map.
And yeah, they need to reduce that elo loss as much as possible. But huge respect out of F3 as Penny Park is actually able to turn Zeus. Not sure where did that happen. Oh, it was actually from roaming.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be setting up for B site. The hatch falls. Proxy. The nade prime just in case they want to drop. Not sure what happened here. So now that's the static field disarmed. The nade toss, unfortunately, ending up a bit short. But Angel's actually able to find Proxy, as I'm not sure they realize that's the site fully available.
Pennypecker is waiting for them to open up the windows and try and get bottom floor outside objective control. And they very well could spring a trap onto Bot here if they're not too careful. But Bot hasn't worked in just yet. As soon as the vault comes through, Penny will be finding a pretty free kill, but they cannot wait, and they try and beak out, and Bot will actually find that kill, and now F3 looking like they very well could take this round.
Yeah, and they immediately push on the side. Nade toss coming in. My Baker's able to find Bot, but Flicks able to get that refrag. Breaching phone primed and ready. 3v2. Flicks just has to try and get that plant done. But Eternity, they do have that HP difference, but they don't have that sight. They're going to be forced to play in post plant unless F3 overextend here.
They're a little bit afraid to go for the plant, it seems. Or maybe they didn't have the EMP, as Angel now runs all the way over, does get the plant down. And yeah, now it's retake time for Juice and Proof, and Juice will go down right away to the outside window. Shots Proof, hearing the nade primed, runs before it gets to them. And a great read to avoid that grenade. And they catch one, but not the two. And we'll tie the final map of the series. We'll go all 36 rounds, the full distance here this afternoon in a best-of-3 series. And ultimately, a pretty dang good fight to come back to, Heritage, if I do say so myself.
It's a good fight. I mean, with a new roster, and they just had their pickup, you know, Flicks that just joined the roster like just a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
And to put up a showing against, I'd say, a team like Eternity, where they're notable. You know, they came, I believe, 3rd place in preseason.
Yep. And
to put these type of stats to go, you know, the full distance, even though it was a little bit unfortunate in F3's terms, you know, 7-5, 6-6, and 6-6, with every single round matter. What a series.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else.
It really was a stellar battle back and forth this afternoon. And if you did miss it, well, tune into the VOD. You just watched the second loss for Formula 3 and this 5th win for Eternity. They remain only scarred by Acer as the only team that's defeated them, and will continue to stay at the top of the ladder for the foreseeable future off of a very solid win here this afternoon. That will be it for us here, though. My name has been Nightfire2E's, my co-caster Heritage, and a quick shout out to everyone tuning in. Please do thumbs up the stream, subscribe, and tune in tomorrow for more VRML action. We have multiple games that are going to be broadcast that you don't want to miss. But until then, stay classy. Features VRML is brought to you by Triangle Factory, HyperX, ProTube VR. Thanks for watching VRML.